This film contains a noticeable amount of black screen and typography.
Smoking causes cancer. Smoking kills. Drinking is injurious to health. Okay, so let's start with the joke. Two black guys are strolling along at a. Wait. I don't think I've set up the climate for a joke of this sorts. Hmm, let's start with the story and work ourselves back to the joke. Alright? So, you know these weeds, right? Not the ones. The ones that grow on land that hasn't been ploughed or sowed. They use up everything that was meant for the plants that actually bear. But the sad crore question is, does only the vegetation that bloom deserve to grow? I mean, who are we to decide that these weeds that grow on the untouched lands should perish? After all, the only difference between a weed and a flower is all in how we name it. Let's contemplate for some time. We could perform like a case study of sorts. What we are trying to do here is take a hypothetical delve into the mind of a fictitious character, Bheema of the epic Mahabharata. Again, the keyword being hypothetical. So, Bheema was born into a life of spectacular events that never ceased to stop. He was one among the five of the group, which in itself had a tighter group of three. We all know who is who without naming anyone. Anyway, he would have been invigorated all the time, wouldn't he? From drinking the soma to having a feast. I mean, wasn't Bheema known for his appetite? The epic itself says that he used to have half the total ration of the five. From all the mace fights to witnessing the Apsaras dance to the tune of the Gandharvas. He, along with his brothers, would have cared to misuse the privilege that came with their blue blood. After all, one would want to explore the perks of being a demigod, right? One day, after all the extravaganzas, all the glamour and glitz, all the pompous gala, he was forced to exit the manor. That too, through no fault of his own. I mean, the dude couldn't do anything about it. But his brain would have wanted all the stimuli, right? I mean, there was only much one could do living in exile, right? Oh, too many rights, right? So anyway, since our Bheema got rejected in the last round of placements at a huge MNC, which had high salary and many benefits, he had to set up camp with the next best offer, which was far from the best thing. Friends slowly started to drift apart. From a man always in the company of others, he got constrained with the company of himself. The group of five decomposed to one, and life got monotonous very quickly. He starts off what seemingly appears to be a normal day for a guy like him. But here's the catch. You see many big consulting companies such as this take up contract works for other entities. And when they draw up the contract, they juice up the personnel count in the project to more than what's required so they can sack in bigger budget and in turn a bigger cut. Our guy just happens to be one among the juiced up number that seemingly is working his ass off on the above mentioned project. In our case, to be exact, he had not been working for almost months now. Yeah, that's right. That's disguised unemployment painted in bright colors for you. With all the untethered time, our guy has got nothing to kill. With all the untethered time, our guy has got nothing to kill. So, what does his brain do? Let me explain. Every morning, he would get into his workspace. As usual, he'd be ignored. Poor guy. So, he takes his props and works his way up to the roof. And what he would do there is quite ingenious. He would Well, he would. He would just sit there and watch. That's right. He would just sit there and watch everything keenly. And this has been happening for some time now. So, by now, he's pretty much aware of anything that happens in the area. Who all gets off to work, when and where, who eats what and when. He's picked up patterns and ways of pretty much anyone within his observable parameter. So, what would an unstimulated brain do with all this information? You know, a study conducted reveals that the human brain would resort to pain or taboo deeds as opposed to boredom. We would literally shock ourselves if it meant the only stimulus. And now, don't you think our guy would want to prove them scientists wrong, would he? He decided to start simple. He knew that upsetting any major poster sticking powers of the area would prove to be fatal. So, conveniently or not, the people who stuck this poster were followers of the man who taught everyone to show the other cheek when slapped. They checked out the mess and decided to deal with it the old man's way. Among the people within his observation is this blind man who lives opposite to his house. Our guy knows that at this time of the day, there wasn't no one in the locality. Again, the perks of knowing the deeds.
സൊനാരേ സൊനാരേ സ്വർണ്ണ നിലാവ് തെളിഞ്ഞില്ലേ സ്വരരാഗത്തെ നിറയ്ക്കാൻ പോരൂ സോനാരേ സോനാരേ സ്വർണ്ണ നിലാവ് തെളിഞ്ഞില്ലേ സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾ പങ്കുവയ്ക്കാൻ പോരൂ ഏതോ നോവിലൂറുമാ ഗാനം കാതിൽ തേൻ പകർന്നിടും നേരം കണ്ണീർ പൂ പോലെ നീ മാറിൽ ചായുകില്ലേ ഏതോ നോവിലൂറുമാ ഗാനം കാതിൽ തേൻ പകർന്നിടും നേരം കണ്ണീർ പൂ പോലെ നീ മാറിൽ ചായുകില്ലേ സോനാരേ സോനാരേ സ്വർണ്ണ നിലാവ് തെളിഞ്ഞില്ലേ സ്വരരാഗത്തെ നിറയ്ക്കാൻ പോരൂ സോനാരേ സോനാരേ സ്വർണ്ണ നിലാവ് തെളിഞ്ഞില്ലേ സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾ പങ്കുവയ്ക്കാൻ പോരൂ മൗനത്തിൻ ഏതോ നോവിലൂറുമാ ഗാനം കാതിൽ പകർന്നിടും നേരം കണ്ണീർ പൂ പോലെ നീ മാറി ചായുകില്ലേ
Two black guys are strolling along at a state fair. They come upon a gypsy tent with a sign in front of it that reads, "Turn white only for $15." The black guys look at each other and figure, fuck it, why not? Should be good enough for a laugh. They go through their pockets. One comes up only with $10, but his buddy has a 20. "I've got it," the first guy says. "Take your 20 and go in there and come back with the 5 in change and I can go in." The second guy agrees and walks into the tent. Several minutes go by. The first guy is getting antsy. Suddenly, the flap of the tent opens and out walks the most perfect Aryan specimen of a man you ever did see. Tall, well built, great posture, pale skin, blue eyes, and hair like golden flax. He's even wearing a new suit. The first black guy is ecstatic. Holy shit, it worked! Here, give me that $5 so I can do it too. The white guy looks at him and says, Fuck you, get a job. So apparently, the company that dropped him earlier wants him back now, as there is an opening. This meant better salary, better benefits, and moving to a metropolitan city. Basically, the wet dream of guys in their 20s. What I'm reminded of now is a saying that goes, ചത്തത് കീചകനെങ്കിൽ കൊന്നത് ഭീമൻ തന്നെ.